So I was telling that there was mistake in the slide. I was about to correct it, and then suddenly the meeting got disconnected. In the screen, you see ya, ra, la, va. The semi-vowels are ya soft consonants and non-aspirate. That is alpa prana. Whereas all the semi-vowels, all the sibilants, sha, sha, sa, ha, they are aspirate. They are aspirate. I just corrected that in the slide. You can see that all the semi-vowels, ya, ra, la, va, they are soft consonants and alpa prana, non-aspirate. Soft consonants and non-aspirate, whereas all the sibilants, they are aspirate, mahaprana. And in that, ha is not a soft consonant. It's not a hard consonant. It's a soft consonant. So that part I have to correct it. Probably I will do it in the next class. You can see I'm typing it. You will try to understand that. Hard consonants. That is all the sibilants. Sha, sha, sa, ha. They are mahaprana, aspirate. The first three letters of the sibilants, they are hard consonants, whereas ha is the soft consonant. That is what I modified in the slide. You can see hard consonants except ha. Except a means it is understood it is a soft consonant. And it is aspirate. I hope this is clear. Otherwise, I can correct that here itself. And see the screen now. I'm just doing the correction. All these semi-vowels, ya, ra, la, va, and ha, the last letter of the sibilant, they are soft consonants. Whereas the sibilants, sha, sha, sa, these first three sibilant, they are hard consonants. And the last sibilant is a soft consonant. And also aspirate. And also aspirate. Now you can see the corrections on the screen. Is it clear now? The screen I corrected.
It was aspirate. Now is you corrected non-aspirate.
Yeah. Ya, ra, la, va. They are non-aspirate, alpa prana. Right? That is what non-aspirate shows. And soft consonant. All the semi-vowels are soft consonant. And the last letter of the sibilant, ha, is also soft consonants. Right? Whereas sha, sha, sa, the first three letters of the sibilants, they are hard consonants. And all the four letters, the four sibilants, they are aspirate, mahaprana. So this is what the essence is. And now the whole thing, whatever we have seen, it is condensed in the table itself. This table I sent you already, so you can go through this table. The table clearly gives a classification based on the hard consonants, soft consonants, as well as alpa prana, maha prana, and the place of pronunciation also is given. So you can take a printout of it and keep it in a place where you can see it, so you will remember it. Okay, so this is about this. Please don't do any scribbling on the screen. Don't touch the annotate. Okay, now going back to the PowerPoint, the paint, how to write this semi vowels and this sibilance. I'll tell you quickly. Can note down. The first letter of the semi vowel, which is ya. Ya is written like this. Ya. The next one is ra. Ya, ra. This is ra. Ya, ra. Then the third letter of the semi vowel, which is dental, la. Lalita and all that sound la. That is a letter la. Then the next one, the last letter, last semi vowel is va. So ya, ra, la, va. These are the four semi vowels. Now the sibilants. The first letter sha. The palatal sha is written like this. Sha. This sha can be written also like this. Both are acceptable. Sha can be written either what you see on the left side of the screen or on the right side. Both are okay. That is sha, palatal sha. Then the next one, the next letter, which is cerebral letter, murdhanya letter, which is sha. Shanmukha and all comes from this. This out as this sound sha. Sha. Okay. Then the next letter is dental, which is sa. Sa is very easy, right? This is sa. Sha, sha, sa. These three letters are hard aspirate, hard consonants and mahaprana. Now the last letter of the sibilant, which is ha, which is mahaprana, but it is soft consonant, and this is how it is written. Ha. Okay. So now you know how to write all the consonants. Now going back to the PowerPoint, today we will learn something more. You know that the consonants, what we learned, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, cha, cha, ja, ja, gya, all the consonants, class consonant, semi-vowel, sibilants, these consonants cannot be pronounced independently. These cannot be pronounced independently. So when you utter the consonants ka, kha, ga, gha, cha, cha, ja, ja, all these consonants, if you observe, it ends with the sound. What sound? It ends with the sound. What is the sound it ends with? It means the vowel a is added to it. If you remove the vowel a from these letters, from these consonants, you know how it will look. That I will show in the paint screen itself. If you remove the vowel part from the consonant, when the consonant can be uttered, you see, for example, I'm taking the letter ka. This is ka. When you say ka, the letter a is there. Now I remove the letter a, the vowel component from the consonant. If you remove, then it will look like this. This is what it is. How do you pronounce this? You can't, because without consonants, without vowels, consonants cannot be pronounced. This is how it will look. Similarly, the next letter, K. If you remove the vowel part, A, then it will also look like this. So, these letters, consonants, cannot be pronounced without the support of vowels. The very sound that stops at the place of pronunciation. Ka, ka, the first class, the place of pronunciation is throat. If you remove the vowel part, then that very effort, it stops at the place itself. You can't pronounce it. You will say ik, ik, it's not correct. Please understand, this is not ik. You cannot say this as ik. This is not ik. When you pronounce this, you say ik. It is not ik. You can't say. In fact, it is. That is how it is. You can't say. I'm writing in English. Okay. It stops. You cannot say. So, without consonants, without vowels, these consonants are, like the body without life cannot be pronounced. And this, the stroke, and this stroke, what you see, that this stroke, that is in English we call it as nether stroke. It's called nether stroke. N-E-T-H-E-R, nether stroke. So if you remove the vowel component from the consonant, then the consonant will have a stroke at the bottom. It's a pure consonant and it cannot be pronounced. So that is what we are going to see in the next slide. I will show the PowerPoint now. We can see.
Can I have an example of
I'll show you.
for the...
I'll show you now. You will see. So you can see in the screen. All these are examples only. The consonants without vowel, how they are written. This is how it is written. Okay, and these consonants cannot be pronounced. Okay. So these are the consonants without the vowels. Consonants without vowels are written with a stroke at the bottom, and that stroke is called nether stroke. So this is how it looks, all the consonants. As I said, consonants without vowels is like a body without life. So they are lifeless. Unless you add the vowel to the consonant, consonants cannot be pronounced. And therefore, for the sake of pronunciation, what we did was we have added the vowel component to all the consonants. Therefore, ka, kha, ga, gha, na, cha, cha, we can pronounce it. So only for the sake of pronunciation, the vowel a is added to all the consonants. Okay, so you can see now. For the sake of pronunciation, the vowel a is added, and out you can see how it is added. The letter is there. The first letter of the first class, Kavarga, is there. First line you can see. Then the vowel a is added. So what happens? Then the nether stroke vanishes. It becomes ka. Ka can be pronounced now. Similarly, the second letter of the first class plus the vowel a, when you add, becomes kha. Similarly, ga, gha, na. Similarly, for all the consonants. The consonant, the pure consonant plus the vowel a equals that consonant which can be pronounced. Okay. Now, if the vowel a can be added to these consonants, why can't we add all the vowels to the consonants? Possible, right? We can add all the vowels to the consonants. So how many vowels are there? 13 plus 2. Therefore, 13 plus 2 vowels, it means 15 vowels can be added to each consonant. 15 vowels can be added to each consonant. How many consonants are there? 33. And how many vowels? 13 plus 2. So how many combinations we will get then? 33 into 33 multiplied by 15. So many combinations are possible. And that is what we are going to study today. And before that, that's the vowel. When you add that to the consonant, the vowel get a special sign or symbol. The vowel gets a special sign or the symbol. That is, for example, we saw in the previous one, the consonant plus the vowel, what happened? The nether stroke vanished. The nether stroke vanished. Therefore, ka, kha, ga, gha, all these are without the nether stroke. It means it's a consonant vowel combination, right? So every vowel, when you add to the consonant, it will be represented by a special sign or symbols. And those symbols are called Gunitaksharani. Those symbols are called Gunitaksharani. Each vowel will be represented by a symbol or sign when it is added to the consonant. And those sign symbols are called Gunitaksharani. When I show you the successive slides, you will understand what it is. And therefore, when you add the vowel to the consonant, the resultant letter will be the combination of the consonant plus the vowel sign. So now you can see here the consonant vowel combination. Here the consonant is represented by the symbol. You can see a circle with the dots. Assume that is a consonant. Okay, that represents the consonant. When the vowel a is added to the consonant, the nether stroke vanished. That we saw already. We saw that. Now the second vowel, what happens? A. When it is added, what happens? Then the consonant will look like this. The consonant will be there, and one more stroke to the right. One more stroke to the right. And similarly, when the vowel e is added, then the resultant letter will be represented by the vowel sign of the corresponding vowel e. What is that? It is a stroke to the left of the consonant plus a stroke at the top. You can see. Similarly, the letter E, the vowel E, when it is added to the consonant, it is represented by the stroke, vertical stroke to the right of the consonant and a stroke at the top. So E. And when the vowel U is added, when the vowel U is added to the consonant, it is represented by a stroke. You can see at the bottom of the consonant. And when the vowel U is added, similarly you see a stroke. I can show you that stroke in the paint screen. I will show you that. And when R is added, similarly the R will be represented by the corresponding vowel sign. And R also, you can see. And A, the vowel A, when added to the consonant, then the resultant consonant will have a stroke at the top. When I is added, The consonant with the two strokes at the top. You can see the consonant with the two strokes. When O is added, then the consonant will have a vertical stroke to the right and as well as a stroke at the top. So O is represented by the vertical stroke to the right of the consonant and a stroke at the top. That sign is called vowel sign. Vowel sign of the vowel O. When O is added, one more stroke comes. O. And what about and aha? You put a dot at the top of the consonant. That is what the vowel symbol for and aha is that colon will come, that visarga will come to the right of the consonant. So these are the vowel signs. Okay. So if I tell you with an example, you will understand what it is. Now let us take the first consonant, which is the first letter of the first class Kavarga. You can see the consonant with vowel combinations. I'm taking the first letter of the first class, to which I'm adding all the consonants one by one. Okay. So the first line you can see the consonant, the first letter of the Kavarga plus A. The vowel A is added. When you add the vowel to the consonant, the first thing what happens is the nether stroke. You understand what nether stroke is? The stroke at the bottom of the consonant, pure consonant, it disappears. So that is what the first thing happens. Therefore, you get the resultant consonant vowel combination ka you get. Okay, this is when the vowel a is added to the consonant. When you add the vowel a, the long a to the consonant, what happens? That becomes, you write the first thing what happens, the nether stroke vanishes. The nether stroke vanishes and the vowel sign of the vowel a is nothing but a vertical stroke to the right of the consonant that is added. It becomes ka. So you can note down the symbol as well as the sound. The first one was ka, second one ka. You have to say ka. It is a combination of the consonant vowel sound. Both the script and the sound, please note down. Ka. So ka, ka. And what about the third one? You add the corresponding vowel sign of the vowel E and it is pronounced as ki. Ki. Then the fourth letter E, that becomes ki. So ka, ka, ki, ki. Then the fifth, that is the third line or the fifth combination, the vowel U is added. You can see the stroke at the bottom, U. That stroke at the bottom is a vowel sign for the vowel U, short U. So when you add this consonant, this vowel to the consonant, you get ku. And when you add the long vowel, it becomes ku. Then, if the r letter, the cerebral r, when r is added to the consonant, it becomes kr. It is kr. The consonant, the first letter of the first class, that consonant plus the vowel r will become kr. Okay. And when the long vowel r is added, it becomes kr. It becomes kr. I hope you are with me up to this. So ka, ka, ki, ki, ku, ku, kr, kr. Sorry. Okay. Then the conjunct vowel a is added. It becomes k. The resultant will have the vowel sign and vowel sound. So k. And the next one, kai. When I is added, it becomes kai. When O is added, it becomes ko. When au is added, it becomes kau. Okay, so ke, kai, ko, kau. And when is added, it becomes kam. When the last vowel aha is added, becomes kaha. So these are the resultant combination for that particular consonant. So ka, ka, ki, ki, ku, ku, kr, kr, ke, kai, ko, kau, kam, kaha. So how many combinations are there? I have excluded the vowel l. I don't know whether you observed that. The l is not included. Why? Because we don't find that combination much in the language. Maybe one or two words may be there. So that is why I skipped that l part. So therefore, 14 vowels are added to the consonant and you get the 14 combinations. So the script as well as the vowel sign as well as the sound should be remembered. So in the same way, you can add all these vowels to all the consonants. Okay, then how it will look like that you will see in the next screen. You can see now. The first letter of the first class. Kaka, kiki, kuku, kru, kru, ke, kai, ko, kau, kam, kaha. And the second letter of the first class. K, ka, ki, ki, ku, ku, kr, kr, ke, kai, ko, kau, kam, kaha. It is Mahaprana, aspirate, and that sound also must be there. We have to distinguish between the first two. Ka, ka. So, ka, ka, ki, ki. That the difference we must show. The beginning may be difficult, but once you are familiar with the language, it becomes easy. Now the third letter, you can see ga, ga, gi, gi, gu, gu, gr, gr, ge, gai, go, gau, gum, gaha. You can see the vowel sign added to all the consonant. It is same. So now if you remember the vowel sign, and just you have to put it to the consonant and bring the vowel sound. That is a combination of consonant vowel combination. It's very simple. So you have to practice. So you can write as many times as possible. Then only you will be able to remember. You can take a printout of the PDF file, which I will send. Practice it. Then becomes easy for you. Then the fourth letter, Mahaprana, gha, 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 ghi, ghi, gu, gu, gr, gr, ghe, ghai, gho, ghau, gham, gha. And the last letter, nasal. This is a bit difficult. You won't find all the letters in usage, but the combinations are possible. Nga, nga, ni, ni, hu, hu, gr, gr, ge, gai, go, gau, gum, nga. So it's a bit difficult. Okay, that doesn't matter, but you can learn the combination. So now you know for the first class. Similarly, for the next class is there. That we will see in the next class from Chavarga. But before that, I'll tell you something which is important. So I'm showing you the paint screen. You can see now. Now you know the vowel sign and the combination of the vowel, the consonant vowel combination, you know it. So I'm showing you now, you can see in the screen, the letter Ka, for example, I'm taking. It is not ka. It cannot be pronounced. It is a pure consonant. You cannot pronounce that. So the first letter of the first class, when you add the letter a, what happens? The first thing is the nasal stroke vanishes and you get ka. Okay. Similarly, when you add the second the letter, second vowel, ah, what happens? Then first thing is the nasal stroke vanishes, right? And ah is represented by the vertical stroke to the right of the consonant. So it becomes ka. Now, every time should I say the first letter of the first consonant, first letter of the first class plus a equals ka, the first letter of the first class plus a equals ka, the first letter of the first class plus e equals t, the first letter of the first class plus e equals t. So every time no, first letter of the first class, first letter of the first class, I have to say it's a bit difficult because pure consonant cannot be pronounced, right? It cannot be pronounced. Therefore, to our, what we do is in a language, we give a name to it. We give a name to it. So this is a pure consonant which cannot be pronounced, but I can address the consonant by a name. By a name. Okay, how do I do that? What is this letter ka? When you add the vowel a to the consonant, then the resultant is ka, right? Ka. So what I do is I just add a suffix to address the consonant. I write the suffix in English. You can see K, A, R, A. This A is the long one. Kara. K, A, R, A. I think I will write again the whole thing. You can see. See this consonant, I have to address it. I have to give a name to address the consonant. So what I do is I can call this consonant by adding a suffix to it. A. So ka, kara is that. This is ka, kara. This is A is a long one. Kara. Kara, K-A-R-A. So kakara. So what is the first letter? First letter of the first class. I can address it by calling kakara. So kakara plus a equals ka. Kakara plus a equals ka. Kakara plus a equals ka. Kakara plus e equals t. So now you can see the slide. Like I will show you the slide. You can easily identify. You can say, you can address the consonant by, now you can see the slide now. So kakara plus a equals ka, kakara plus a equals ka, kakara plus e equals ki, kakara plus e equals ki, kakara plus u equals ku, kakara plus u equals ku. So the pure consonant is addressed by adding the suffix kara. By adding the suffix kara. Similarly, for all the consonants. Similarly, for all the consonants. For example, if you take the next class, here cha is there. Cha, letter cha. What is the letter cha? The letter cha is a combination of chakara plus a. I'm adding the suffix kara to the letter. Chakara plus a equals cha. Chakara plus a equals cha. So that is how you get cha, cha, chi, chi, chu, chu, chir, chir, che, chai, cho, chow, cham, chah. Okay, I'll show you in the screen, paint screen. You can see. So the suffix kara is added. The suffix kara is added to address the consonant. This is the pure consonant. You cannot pronounce it, but I can address it. I can call it by chakara. Chakara plus a equals cha. Similarly, you can remove chakara and replace it by this another letter. I'm taking the first letter of all the classes. It is easy. That's why I'm taking that. Now, how do you say that? How do you address the first letter, first consonant, pure consonant? Only for addressing. That is not the pronunciation of the letter. Pure consonant cannot be pronounced, right? How do you address the first? How do you address the first consonant? You can see here. What is that letter? This one.
Ta.
Ta. And add the suffix k, a, r, a. It is r. Okay, it is not v. So takara. What is that?
Takara.
Takara plus a, it becomes ta. So takara plus a, it becomes ta. In the same way, for all the consonants, you can add all the vowels, and the consonants can be addressed. Not only the consonants, even the vowels also. Even the vowels also can be addressed by adding the suffix kara. I'm writing kara in Sanskrit. You can see now. What is the letter ka? You know it now. The consonant vowel combination, and ra. Akara. Akara means the letter a. Akara means the letter a. Akara addresses or it points to the vowel a. Okay. Okay. Now the same way for the other consonant, other letters. Any letter can be represented, can be pointed out by adding the kara suffix. Now this is the sibilant. How do you address it? By calling shakara. What is that? Sha, ka, and ra. Shakara. So shakara, and you get now shakara. Then call shakara plus a will become what? Shakara plus a will become sha. Shakara plus a will become sha. Right? So by adding the kara suffix, now you can address the consonant. So the kara is an important suffix. So I use it frequently, so you can remember it. Okay. So now from the next slide, the PowerPoint, the next class consonants and vowel combinations will be seen. So each combination as well as the pronunciation, that we will see in detail in the next class. So if you have any doubts today's class, you can ask. So from Chavarga, we will see in the next class. So I will tell you how to pronounce the consonants, vowel combination. Okay, so we can stop here. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Hello, you can unmute your mic.
Thank you, Ji.
Okay, so up to first class you can practice. You can be familiar. Make yourself familiar with the first class, second class, that is Chavarga and all. We will see in the next class. So we can stop our class here. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate मुच्यते
मुच्यते
पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ धन्यवादः।